nagbabago.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Philippines, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Bayan ko sa magnanakaw na tao.
Kindly sit down. Thank you. Alam mo, totoo lang, I am a guy that's not really up to traveling. I hate to travel. Were it not for the urgings of the Department of Foreign Affairs and that I have to make the rounds among the Asian countries, I think I still have one, but really it's tiring and I've always avoided, but they say that it's part of my duty. I am glad to be back from my state visits to the Kingdom of Cambodia and the Republic of Singapore. Both visits gave me the opportunity to further strengthen our ties with our key neighbors and partners. In Phnom Penh, I was welcomed by the King Norodom Sihamoni, and in my audience, royal audience with him, I stressed the value of long-standing relations and reaffirmed the resolve to broaden collaboration. In my meeting with the Prime Minister Hun Sen, we recognize the importance of working closely together to address the menace of illegal drugs. We also discussed ways of strengthening cooperation against traditional and emerging transnational crimes. To advance this shared agenda, the Philippines and Cambodia signed an agreement of our police agencies to cooperate on combating these crimes. The Philippines is ready to work with all stakeholders in our region and beyond in order to address threats to the peace, safety, and security of nations. The Philippines and Cambodia have a significant portion of our population working overseas. We therefore resolve to do all that we can to uphold, promote, and protect their rights and interests. We signed an agreement in the area of labor to ensure ready assistance to our nationals, particularly in the situation of distress and in the areas of social unrest. We also noted the growing links between our peoples and the need to strengthen these human bridges of understanding and mutual respect. A recently signed executive program on tourism, cooperation and agreement on sports and cooperation will open new avenues for greater exchanges and interactions between our people. After Cambodia, I proceeded to Singapore, where I met President Tony Tan Keng Yam and the Prime Minister Yusen Loh. Singapore is a valued partner with whom we share similar challenges and the same commitment to advance the interests of our countries. As the Philippines' fourth largest trading partner, Singapore stands to benefit from a safer and more secure environment for trade and commerce. Terrorist elements and other radical extremist forces undermine what we have worked hard for so long. The Philippines and Singapore will work closely and effectively to confront this challenge. We will intensify exchanges and coordinate on the best practices of the lessons learned to enhance our capacities to address terrorism, violent extremism, and radicalization. We will also use the resources at our disposal, including modern technology, to rid our maritime areas of threats such as piracy, kidnapping, human trafficking, and gun running. At the same time, he also stressed the danger posed on our respective societies by illicit drug trade that is now tearing our social fabric apart and depriving our youth of our countries in the future. Our efforts to combat illegal drugs will be relentless and comprehensive. We will support and assistance of our friends and the Philippines' new budget. We are on track towards realizing our envisioned holistic strategy to effectively address illegal drugs. In both my state visits, I underscored that the Philippines is open for business and that we seek intensive two-way trade investments. We are in a position to welcome investments in key sectors such as private-public partnership, infrastructure, telecommunications, information and technology. Our private sector is now poised to grow and seek new frontiers for Philippine business to thrive beyond our shores. Side by side, I have secured the commitment and businesses of Singapore, our fourth largest trading partner, to sustain their current investments and seek areas of partnership. Meantime, we will work with Cambodia and Singapore bilaterally and in the ASEAN setting in order to achieve common goals of greater peace, progress, and prosperity. I run on a campaign of a clean government. I said before that corruption will have no place in my government. Now that I am president, I reaffirm this commitment. Consistent with this electoral campaign, I have directed the dismissal of the two associate commissioners of the Bureau of Immigration who are now tainted with corruption. They will be held accountable for their actions. They will face the full force of the law. On this and all my promises, I give you my word. As President, I shall work tirelessly to ensure all these promises become a reality. Help me take our country and our people to a better place we all deserve. Maraming salamat po. I can maybe take a few questions. I've been having this headache for 2 days now.
Mr. President.
Maybe it's positional because you have to have a stiff neck when you're talking to somebody. And my schedule was really, I really don't know why you have to do that to me. Every hour on the hour. Really, I started at 1 and I ended up talking to the Filipino community. That's how I traveled from one end of the city to another. I didn't even have the time to. I was planning to buy a sack. I didn't have the time, really. I have used all that. There were only 4, so I hate to use one that's been used already. So I can take a few questions.
We have 5 reporters, Mr. President, and one is from German television. You have one question. Thilo Mitschke. Over here, please.
Yes, sir. Can you just come over so that I can... I slept and I have this air that doesn't want to come out.
Thank you very much. Sorry for my look. By criminalizing drugs and drug use, you go the same way as the United States and Colombia. You fight a war against drugs. But both countries failed. Why do you think you will succeed?
Why
do you think you will succeed? The Philippines...
Succeed?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I've been a prosecutor before. I became a mayor. And the only thing that was really hampering me from reacting to it immediately is that I didn't have the money. I am a president that went in midterm. I am operating half of the budget that was left to me by my predecessor. And the campaign at the sloganeering was bottoms up. And so I am only left with an amount that is only good for operating and maintenance expenses. At the time when it was, there's nothing in the budget which says that this event will happen and that a lot of hundreds of thousands of Filipinos will have already been infected with. I knew that I was the mayor here last year. I knew that it was, then I know now, that it was a very serious problem. But I was very strict, and maybe I am not really into pulling my own chair. But Davao recorded the highest local, the growth rate of Davao is hitting 9. And that is really high for a local unit at this time. And yet we were able to blossom, we flourish. Davao is a little bit safe. You can go around and nobody would know. Chances are you'd go back to your hotel alive, 95%. But when I became president, I started to press everybody. Then, I'm sure you were around when you saw hundreds of thousands infected. I said, government had no money then. I could not get money from one department to another and juggle them because I said before in this forum that would be robbing Peter to pay Paul. So I'll just have to wait. Were it not for China, a good soldier, as a billionaire, he was the one who built the first rehab center. Good for 10,000 people. You can imagine that. And I had to order the military to open their camps because we do not have that kind of area where we can place them. Recreational facilities and then sports to win them away if it's still possible. But you know, shabu, constant use of shabu, and everybody there on the long-term use have shrunk brains and therefore no longer viable for a rehab. So I really do not know how many of the 4 million already infected are with brains that no longer work. So that's my main, because you have to segregate them. They're all insane, and for all intents and purposes, actually, they're good for insane asylums. The other, which still can be saved, next year we will be building the rehab. Then I'll have the money. As a matter of fact, I scraped the bottom of the government funds. It's year ending, and I ordered the release, well, whatever was there, 1 billion just to distribute it to the hospitals all over the Philippines. And for those who really want to be cured, in the meantime, just stay home, lock the door, do not go out to the streets and hunt again for prey, because if I see you there, I'll pick you up. And I will bring you to Bataan, Zambales, rather. Or is it Nueva Ecija? I'm sorry. Fort Magsaysay, that's the biggest military reservation in the country. When I say pick up, you do not pick up, throw him to hell. Pick him up and get him into a forced detention. In the law, it's called involuntary detention. So I can move faster, and there are a lot of also people. China, again, promising another big rehab. So, may I just say this? for all of the created, China is this and that, especially it was the time of coming. China has the kindest soul of all. And I understand that we have been stricken out of the Millennium Challenge. Well, good. I welcome it. Actually, in exchange for the 400 million, you think that you can cure the 4 million rather? Simply with these challenges of what? 400 million? China has, China communicated to us. They're giving us 50 billion. So what do I need for America for? They do not look at us kindly. We have this huge problem, and you exacerbate by cutting. No, actually, we do not need it. We can survive without American money. But America, you might also be put on notice. Prepare to leave the Philippines. Prepare for the eventual repeal or the abrogation of the Visiting Forces Agreement. Because if we are a country that's very dangerous, if you think that there's crime there because we execute people, there are so many soldiers. They are the natural enemies of the Moroland. So why don't you just leave and if you think that there is extrajudicial killing here, it's a prevalent one, it's a virulent practice, So why are you here? What is your purpose with this Visiting Forces Agreement? We will never be ready to fight with China. It is you who's egging a fight there. We will never fight with Russia. That's too far away. And besides, we are friends, I said. The cancellation of the 23,000 firearms which we were supposed to get it from you, sail. One of your senator, smart Alex, said that we should not get it because of the violation of human rights. And then Russia came forth and said, no problem. As I used the word, buy one, take one. China is actually, I'll tell you in. China has been communicating with us every day, and I think I'll send the defense secretary. They said the guns are ready. It's here. We want to give it to you. What do you want? You want us to deliver them to you, or you make arrangements with your Navy and get it from us? That's the truth. And I said, China, how much do I owe you? I said, none. We'll donate it to you to help protect your nation and to protect everybody else from the rampaging drugs. So what's new? America loses 40,000. It's not state-sponsored. Do you think, you look at our soldiers, do you think they will obey an illegal order? Foremost among the cardinal rules is that they are not supposed to implement or order illegal. These soldiers, they're just generals. They're the best. Some from the Integris, others from the United States. Most of them come from the Philippine Military Academy. You cannot order them illegal. They would not follow you. They will oust you if you force upon them illegal acts. That's the truth. They just don't know the Philippine setting and the most of the police force. I think the last batch, no more military or mayors, but or military men. But they will not obey me. You ask any soldier that. They will stage a coup d'etat if you do that. You put them on jeopardy. Baka hindi nyo alam yan. The soldiers of the Republic of the Philippines are not stupid. They went to the military academy for years. Every day, it's always the Constitution and the flag. They don't even, cultivate this cult, blind obedience to a leader. So everything is, we are glad that we are freed from proving anything to the United States. We do not need the money. China said they will provide so many, and we'll give you the money. So, bye-bye, America, and work on the protocols that will eventually move you out from the Philippines. Tit for tat. If you know this, if you can do this, so do we. It ain't a one-way traffic. If you do not recognize the awesome enormity and the hugeness of the problem of how to treat 4 million addicts. Instead of even helping with the medicines at the outset, we just went ahead to shout about human rights. Well, how about the 4 billion human rights? You seem to keep a blind eye on human rights. Me, I have a burden of building a nation, continuing with the existence of the nation. And there are 4,000-5,000 dead. And you want to exchange it with what? You don't even know who killed whom and for what. If I were to say now, I violated the human rights, tell me who was the 120th victim. For what reason and what was used? Tanongin ko lang kayo. 5,000? Sino yung pangalan ng ika-5,000 na pinatay? Are you sure they were all killed by the military and the police extrajudicial killing? You guys must be crazy. Look at this. I've read in the briefer, the amnesty officer for the Far East. And he said that Duterte admitted the killing and it will promote impunity. This stupid idiot. Could somebody tell him that he's really stupid and idiot? He said that my admission of killing a crime suspect did not even say criminal. Look at the way how they play with semantics. Ours is son of a bitch. That's son of a bitch. And you choose the word whore to make it more profound and vile. Look at this. These idiots playing. They want to control the world. I did kill. I was only 3 months mayor in 1988. Alam ninyo tagada, you know, all governors know that. They were picking victims right in the middle of the downtown area. Sa Uyang Gurin, dinampot nila yung babae kasama yung boyfriend. They were just into this, there used to be a Betamax. You have to go to an outlet and rent one. They just picked up the woman, brought her to Cotabato. And they detained her for 2 months. One day, they sent Phyllis to the family. And she's still alive. She's now a doctor. The woman sent Phyllis to the parents that they were going to surrender or return the hostage. I don't want to mention the name. Sabi nila in exchange for 2 million. Not to tell the police. But the parents whispered to me. So on that fateful night, they were traveling. I was there with retired police, Telson Estares, and 2 others, because we never expected that they would pass this way, but they would return. It is not done. Usually, if you pass in this area, you pass only once. You do not go back. But the troops were there, surrounding the house. So when we heard somebody inside, he's a brave guy, Lima, he was the one I told, you go there, because he was a shooter. I said, could you take out 3 persons at one time? He said, yes. Okay, you be there, inside the bedroom. And when she said, the birdie is safe. So they went down. And it was covered by the televisions. The networks were just at the background. So when they refused to stop, we saw a carbine pointed at us. We were parked nearby. So the shooting started. And I was one holding, I was holding a 45, but, when I saw them coming back to our direction, I grabbed my M16, American made, mind you, to kill criminals, not extrajudicial. There was a firefight. And I said there were about only 3 of us there. So I might have hit them all or none at all. But the fact is I was there and I fired at them. It was a pure case of kidnapping. It happened during my first term in 1988. And here comes an idiot, always an idiot. Almost all of them are saying that my admission or that I shot the suspect. They were not suspect. You idiotic. I don't know from where you are. To us that I'm not so suspect. I was in a shootout with criminals and many others in my career of the 23 years. I am a mayor that cannot tolerate oppression on civilians. And many others in small encounters. Another kidnap killing, I was there. It also resulted in a shootout. The family was the wife of a small mall here in the city. So, what's wrong in being, you are pictured to be a killer. So, at least I kill to protect people. I am not here a dictator killing my political opponents to stay in power. I said that I travel very often. I'm telling you, I hate traveling. For the longest time before I became president, I did not travel. I never went to America. I never went to any place. The last time was, I don't know, when I was a congressman. I cannot stand long hauls. I seem to, I get the jet lag in a very, I might want to, because they are planning again Myanmar. I have to make. But I said I only limit to my fellow ASEANs. If I travel again, it would be Russia. I have to. We're friends with Putin, and he said the last time said, remember Russia? So maybe he wants me to go there to be his guest. So we'll have coffee. So I'll have coffee, then I'll go home. But Russia can be a very important ally. They do not insult people. They do not interfere. And there's now a pending, it's okay to tell it about the Crimea. There's now a pending vote there whether or not the invasion of Crimea was a violation of human rights. The West again is cooking up something just to pick with you. You know, Crimea, you know your history, it was part of Russia, Prussia. Originally, it was Khrushchev who gave Crimea away. Go back into your history. Take a few back. It was really a part of Russia. So we are voting no. It was not. We are not joining the United States in voting. We will align ourselves with what is right and correct. That is the independent policy. Where before me, if the United States says, dito tayo, dito tayo. We vote here along this line, or we vote here along this line. Now, no more. No more. It's you who gave me the reason to be. I would like to thank America for doing such nasty thing. You gave us a sense of direction in our lives and the dignity. You're always tying up you do this and you that, you lose. Come on, America. You stayed in my country for 50 years. You made us a colony. You lived on the fat of the land. How dare you say you will cut the assistance and aid? We do not need it. Kayo, you, who owe the Philippines an apology and for all the massacres, especially the Moro of Mindanao. Putang ina kayo. Huwag kayong Kayo yung may utang sa amin. You sat on my land for 50 years. Oppressed us for 50 years. Killed so many Filipinos there. In summer, because one colonel died of your troops, you massacred all the male above 10 were all killed. That is how civilized you are. Do not even go to us. Just ask your Indian neighbors there in the reservation. You hypocrites. You have the goal to cut off aid. You enjoyed the fat of my land for 50 years. Better shut up, you hypocrites. Next question.
Edith Regalado, to be followed by Will Ripley of CNN. One question per reporter, please. Thank you.
You want to give you a full history of the United States? I'll give you. You're willing to listen until morning time.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
You just said something about America, about withholding the MDC. Don't you think that it is part of the last-ditch efforts of the Obama administration
Yes, I
against
think
you?
so. Because I have talked to Trump.
Yeah, that's it.
Trump doesn't sound hostile or antagonistic to me. And he said that, I know that we have a bad fix between our two nations. I said, yes, sir. And I'm sorry for that, but it is not really your institutions, but people there in Washington, D.C.
So it's a last-ditch efforts of the Obama administration before it bows out by next month.
Somebody gave me a document that was passed on to me in Hong Kong, it says about undermining Duterte. Maybe it would agitate, you know. And I said, God says I am a president. God says you're only president for 6 months, fine. I'll go. God says that you're only good for 2 years and you'll be assassinated. Fine. Be my guest.
Sir, second question.
Yes.
Po, sir. Isa lang. Sir, there are reports of militarization in the West Philippine Sea by China. How does it affect earlier you said about China giving us but there are reports already, and it is even a big concern for the U.S. and the other countries.
In the play of politics now, I will set aside the arbitral ruling. I will not impose anything on China. Why? Because the politics here in Southeast Asia is changing. Like us now, separating, or I will separate, or I will demand that they go out of my country. What's the use of hosting here when you think that we are a bunch of criminals? Go. Go out. If you do not believe in us, why deal with us? Son of a...
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. May I help you? Don't worry. I'll be courteous.
Please don't be mad at me.
Of course, though.
I would like to know, you spoke very candidly about killing suspects and the motivations behind it. Do you recall how many people you killed? Are you certain that all of them were guilty, given the fact that you're a prosecutor, they didn't have due process? And do you feel that all of the people who've been killed thus far in your war on drugs, do you believe that they are all guilty? Clearly there's collateral damage. There was a 6-year-old boy in Manila who was killed this week. His father was a Shabu user, and he was sleeping next to his dad.
Well, things can happen. But these are not state-condoned, state-sponsored. When I tell you now that I killed, do not term them as suspects, because all of them died while they were fighting government people. What I said, what I related to you was this. They tried to escape with the money, and we stopped them, and we saw a carbine. When the windows were open, carbine was pointed at us. That was not, they were not suspects, I suppose, but by any amount of stretching the imagination. Those are people who dared to fight the law. And because I had an M16, I carried one because Davao was then a wild country. I had to restore order. And I took the bull by the horns. In the same manner now that I will inform the nation that ako mismo ang humahawak sa drug problem. I am taking the problem by the horn. It is I who says that you continue with this because of the sheer number of people already contaminated. Now when you say suspect, there are some of those really, well, to keep them silent, and those, I said there are 6 generals, 7 generals involved. You know, it could be cleansing, it could be a part. But if you lump all of those dead persons on us, then that is not fair. That is, you do not condemn people by speculation. That is what is happening there. Look at the recent amnesty. They said that when I said that I admitted killing, and they used the word suspect. A suspect is not a criminal. He is a person who may have committed an under detention. But he is a suspect. Persons of interest, that's another one. But all those guys, at least a third of all who died, I would admit that a third of them have been killed in police encounters. You know, you go back to your country, Shabu has taken hold of America already. You will have a problem there.
I lost friends to meth. I mean, it was the scourge of the place where I went to university. I knew many people whose lives were destroyed. But some of them have been rehabilitated. Do you worry that some people who perhaps could be rehabilitated are
for
not
those
being?
who can be rehabilitated. But if the brain is shrunk, and it was your forensics, not ours, who told us that that is the case. They have conducted, and almost all of them have shrunk brains. So you do not kill these crazy people, because they do not even bother to hide. Men society they are not crazy. You take them into custody, force them into a rehab center, if it's still possible. If not, because they pose danger to society, they'll just have to go to an asylum for insane persons. That is also what is done in America. So maybe we'll just do it also here.
An estimate of how many people you think you might have killed? That was the first part of my question.
People,
How many?
let me count the ways. I love you with the death and breath and height for all the souls that might sail away. Oh, that's Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Maybe 1, 2, 3. And I said 3. I'm not even saying. I'm saying maybe my bullets hit them. Maybe not. But after the boom, 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 we all dead. We're all dead. And another one. Especially hostage taking. If there's hostage taking, better release the hostage before I arrive. Because if I happen to pass by there, and I'll count 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and that's it.
Thank you.
I do not negotiate. I do not negotiate with criminals. And even if he says that he has a problem, you know, you cannot place society in danger just because you have a problem. Just because you have a problem in the family, or you cannot pay your debts, or you have a bum stomach every time, the world keeps turning. It turns around every 24 hours. The world will not wait to find out what's wrong with you. If you are in danger of holding it. Me, I said, if you decide to go berserk, you take hostage. Be sure that you either kill your hostage and kill yourself, because if I am at the scene, I will only count to 3. And that is your life. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Mr. President.
And they all know it in Davao City. I cannot really count how many, but well, I have already asked for forgiveness, even in advance. I say to God, for all my sins and the future sins that I will commit. Just to make sure I may not be able, when the time comes, if I'm assassinated, hit at the back, I may not have time to say my prayer. So just to be on the safe side. God, forgive me for killing the idiots. They are your creation anyway. So that is also your problem. It's God's problem. You create a human monster. So if you are God, why do you have to create these idiots? That's why they die. God should have created law-abiding citizens like us, Philippines.
Lala Babilonia of PTV.
Isa pa to, maganda. Tapos sabihin, success na, madam. An energy that you're beautiful, or all of the ladies here are beautiful.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, sir. Sir, few of your cabinet members were bypassed by the Commission on Appointments. So are you gonna replace them or reappoint them?
No. If the Commission on Appointments reject them, they get hold of the appointments and everything else. And if it is rejected, there's no chance that you can be reappointed. But if you are just bypassed, Huwag na muna ito. Kausapin natin si Duterte kung bakit ito. At some other time, we will review and consider it at some future time. I can reappoint. I like the composition of my cabinet. They're all good. As a matter of fact, I said all of them are valedictorians. Totoo yan, ha? You can talk of Yasay and you can talk of Esperon. If you are from Cotabato City, he was a classmate of Pastor Kibuloy. Pastor Kibuloy said that your defense secretary is very brilliant. He was our valedictorian and he was the valedictorian with class in the female. So, lahat yan sila, puro maotag. Bebot Belio. He has got his masters on the art of womanizing. They biro lang yan. Just to, we're all sleepy. Manelo is I am just an ordinary killer if you want to believe the amnesty and everybody there. I am just an ordinary person. But remember all those brilliant guys lined up there, they work for me. But you know, I'm trying to do what the law mandates me to do. But more than anything else, over and above constitutions or the laws, I have that solemn duty to preserve the country, to keep its integrity. Of what good would it be for a constitution when just to allow because you are afraid to be charged or attacked for killing, alleged killing of this. What good would be a republic of the Philippines if we reach something like 10, 15, 20 million drug addicts? We will go down the drain. And I will not, I said. I said, my life and the office itself, I will not, for the life of me, allow my country to be destroyed. And for those who would still be there, you have this apparatus of organizations. There is a structure. And if you really destroy my country, I will kill you. If you deprive us of the next generation of Filipinos, our children, our grandchildren, same, I'll kill you. And that is the order to the police and the military. Do not be so much fascinated by life because we are in stress right now. Go and destroy the apparatus. That is the only way how to end and to do justice to the 4 million now who are suffering in agony and pain. And the family, it is usually a dysfunctional family. And the future of the child. Alam mo kasi, we are not rich. All of us here, otherwise we would not be in up and about. We all work. Your work brings you to gather the news. The military, they're here because, you know, I am supposed the commander-in-chief. But they work 24 hours to keep this country safe. That is our trabaho namin. And to say that I am protecting the police, of course that must be crazy. That Marcos incident, that was before even Albero, I told, wag mong tanggalin yan. Kasi nagtataka ako, pinapalitan ko lahat. Bakit itong si Marcos nalagay na nandiyan pala siya sa listahan? So I wanted to know how many police personnel there under his command were also contaminated. And I could only get it from him. From where? Well, I will not tell you how I would get it. We also have the technology and everything. Yun ang totoo. No drama about why Duterte is protected. Of course not. Of course, he's implicated. The mayor is dead. And so, what's the problem? No, you want to sacrifice Bato and everybody else. Oh, no, I will not do that. Look, if I really control government and have my way in doing things, the Justice Department is under me as the Justice of DILG in Tinlocan. I could have ordered something there and say, cook it as if it make it up, to make it up. But I said, go and investigate. They said it was a rub out a murder. So, and the police said that he had a gun. Well, when he was able to buy all the police generals there, then you imagine, you find it strange that there's a gun inside. Well, anyway, I said, I continue to believe the NBIs are just working on theories. We have the verbal testimony of the police. And I've said before, and I will repeat it again tonight. If you do your duty, go out and look for them. Arrest them if it's still possible. If not, if they present a vicious and violent resistance, thereby placing your life in jeopardy, kill them. And I will protect you. So everything that is being done or was done in the past in obedience to that order is actually me. I take full responsibility. There are ways of ousting a president whom you do not like. Go ahead. Do it. I will accept any verdict. Doesn't matter. Or if you want to do away with me then. But not now, because I cannot go out without these guys there, those white men. They are a menace to me, not to the public. I cannot even pee outside because they would know. You have this gadget where you can see clearly on open windows in the houses, and they would know where you are. And that is really my greatest lamentation. Totoo yan. I've lost my privacy. And I'm back to being just crossing the river of Pasig. There's a tugboat there. Jug, 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 jug. Then go to, if you are there, jug, 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 jug. When will this end? At least the government can do something at buying a better looking, even just a small ship. Or maybe a yacht looking, but not really a yacht. But this tugboat is jug, 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 jug. You might want to suggest to the congressman, so I am ashamed to ask for one. But if they can give me a nice color white, I really do not know. What do you shout when I enter the tugboat? Marik! What's that word? Marik! Then I begin to set a salute. Ngayon ko lang nalaman. Ang deck pa lang yung yawa na yan. So, we salute the deck. Yes. Sinabi ko na, you'd never miss this point in time at tonight. Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Ano yung bagong intriga? Wala kang ibang tinatanong yung intriga.
Sir, papa-clarify ko lang. Kanina sabi nyo, Babay America. Would this mean completely severing ties with them? And when you say the VFA will be abrogated, how soon will you do it? And would there be no legal impediments in doing
Look.
so?
Supreme Court said it is an executive agreement, not a treaty. I'm putting them on notice. I will decide any day soon. Don't. Go out. Advisors. You mean to say that you are more better than the Filipino soldiers? Kalukuhan. I do not believe for a moment. I do not believe for a moment that they are better than our soldiers here. Tatanggap-tanggap lang tayo kasi they want, you know. And I can understand maybe there's a loose talk about, you know, soldiers because most of them have been to America. I know their feeling. And they may be pro-American, but they should consider also the dignity of the nation. And for all of those guys, the military men, huwag naman tayong babuhin ng ganon. Alam natin ang problema. We have this 4 million. And you're treated as if you're a garbage or a doormat. And the Philippines historically, walang doormat kasi every time that they criticize us, it's always tied to a statement na mawala ang inyong assistant. Sabi ko, patay gutom, itong mga putang inang to. You picture us as if we are, patay gutom is a Visayan idiom. I don't know if it's also with the Tagalog. Pero you picture that, do not do this because you will lose the food, the assistant. Anak, binabastos mo kami ang ganon. Tapos kayo dito, 50 anyos, yung makayaka kayo dito sa amin, kinuha ninyo lahat.
Pero kung meron kayang masasabi si President-elect Trump that would change your mind?
Yan ang problema, Doris, because I have to take the cue from Trump, not from Obama. I'm sure pagganti lang yan kanya kasi minura ko sila lahat eh. Bakit mo, why should I not bowl at you when you are saying so many things about, I said one is, you be careful with the Orientals. You do not know the sensitivity of the Orientals. It goes for all. It could be Indonesian, Chinese. Do not ever, ever say those words. Look for another venue or forum and say it. Do not do it when you, as if you are threatening, when you are talking to me. You reprimand me as if I'm your sheriff in. We are members of the United Nations, right? Then why don't you complain there in the United Nations and ask the proper forum there? It could be UNICEF, World Health Organization, or the Human Rights Commission to make a report, and then when the report is there, you can call our attention and give us the right to be heard. Yan ang problema, nakalimutan ninyo yan. You gave us a constitution, but you are bullshitting it. There is there in the constitution the right to be heard. You do not have any manners. Yes, go out, a lady from the State Department, you as if you are lecturing to somebody who is your janitor there in Washington, D.C. You better behave. You are like that always. That's why you have many enemies. Most of the countries do not like you. You go to the Middle East, you go to Europe, and even the average friends there would just smirk. Now you found somebody to... Alam mo, if for as long as that State Department does not behave in their language, you will find so many enemies. And because I have talked to Trump, and he was very nice, very courteous, I could not sense any hostile thrift, or even the manner he was saying it. So, indifference, I'll just wait. I will let Obama fade away. And if he disappears, then I will begin to reassess. But if I'll have the time, I would like to see the Americans come here. They have a very good ambassador, of Korean descent. It's very courteous also. In deference to the new set of, it's a timing actually. If we still get the raw end of all of these things, then, but for me, I am not inclined to side with you anymore. Personally, I don't know about the soldiers, but I know your feeling. Most of you have been there. But I'm sure that most of you have also been there and experienced that bigotry. I know that. Some who, it's really not the treatment of, you go to China. There are now soldiers training in China. There are now policemen. And I'll be sending my military men also to, nothing really extraordinary, except to train and, whatever there is. Maybe the weapons used now, so that you have a good learning of how this planet resolved. So, any other question? I am begging you now to ask the question. What happened to your hair? You look old. Galit. Oh, sige, maganda ka. Very young. Sorry ah. She looks beautiful. Sige, kailan ngayong araw na to?
Kahapon po, December 16.
So you still catch up. You join me tomorrow. I'm going to Pacquiao. But I will go to Zamboanga because there are about 12 wounded soldiers again. I have to show my solidarity. At least the soldiers would feel that they are that there is a grateful nation.
Sir, good morning po. Isa po kayo dun sa most powerful leaders ng Forbes. Reaction niyo po.
Ako?
Opo.
No, I don't need it. I don't realize it. I'm not powerful. I'm just running a country. Hindi naman tayo first, second. Maybe an emerging country, but not. Nakokornehan ako. I find it very corny. I don't even impose my leadership on the Filipino people. I have no power. If the power means if it means that attributing to the 5,000 makes me a powerful man by killing Filipinos, that is a shame. I do not accept the title. No, I'm not. Wala man ako. So what's the basis? If it's killing 5,000 people, it would make me powerful. You think I enjoy killing Filipinos?
Hi, sir. Good morning. Sir, earlier today or yesterday, Deputy Commissioners Al Argacino and Michael Robles filed their resignation from
Yes.
the immigration. Sir, maybe just clarify, are these the two associate officers that you're referring to, or are there still other immigration officers that you will be recommending or that you will be dismissing, sir?
Well, I asked the resignation of one general, two associate commissioners, and Jack Lam, he wanted to come home. I said, I'd welcome you. Maybe he's afraid of being prosecuted because it could be him and no one else. That's attempted bribery. If I were Jack Lam, but I'll be sequestering all of his properties. Lahat. Why? Because he cheated on us. Taxes. Alam mo, naglalaro sila dito. Yung dito, nagbabayad sila ng taxes. But for the outside of the Philippines, betting, that is something else. and we have not been able to determine how much we have lost. So, just in case you want to know what will happen, I am ordering the sequestering of properties. And maybe I can get as much as I want because, Dulay and everybody says that we have been cheated on for so long. He was parlaying a permit that was given him by Corazon Aquino. So I was just enjoying paying 1%. Putang ina, maswerte ka. When the others are paying 10%, ikaw, all these years. And when you talk in public, you talk as if everybody in government was in your pocket. That's why I ordered this arrest. I called the NBI in the wee hours of the morning, so arestuhin mo. You do not... magsalita siya para mo, ang lahat ng opisya dyan, nasa bulsa niya. Because he was into corruption. Well, I got pissed off and I said, arrest him. I said, walang kaso. Never mind. Kaso. I said, there is no case. There is no case. We will find a case. And I'm just sorry that he was able to leave the country pala 3 days before. So this is a warning to everybody. If you have proof that you are bribing anybody, or if anyone in the government is asking money from you and are doing it legit, report it to me immediately. And I will protect you if you tell me the truth. But if you are there into corruption, giving money, I will not wait. I will not wait for a case to be filed. For example, just a short lecture on the law and its processes. Alam mo, while he was conducting the gambling and accepting bets outside and not paying taxes, at that very moment, he was committing a crime already. So, hindi na masyado, sir, walang kaso ka, pautang ng kaso-kaso. Luhin mo. Because he was there. The gambling was going on. And they were accepting outside bets without paying the taxes. So, what's the crime? The crime is people of the Philippines and Rodrigo Duterte against... Hulihin mo. I-detain mo dyan sa pinagamabaho na presinto. Yung walang working, doon mo siya ilagay. Huwag ninyo do not corrupt people. If you are into corruption, go out of business for a while. Anyway, 6 years lang ako. After that, you can have your way again. I really don't know. In fairness to one would succeed me. But for now, I said I'm going to give the Philippines a respite of the corruption all of these years. That is why we have not improved as a country, because people in government, BIR, customs, lahat yan. Good that I have filed on us very strict. They have, as a matter of fact, exceeded their quota of collection already. Si Billy lang ang medyo nahirapan, ang BIR. But I have full faith in the guy. We were together in the dormitory. He has the integrity to... Ilocano yan, taga Baguio. Bebot is from Isabela. Namatay yung, Palanan. So you get to appoint yung vice mayor. Iyo yun, hindi. You are running for governor, di ba, after this? Yes, sir.
The last question, Mr. President, is from Ichiro Ishiyama.
My name is Ishiyama, editorial writer of Kyodo News. So many Japanese people are still very much interested in you and your ideas and your political models. Could you say any politicians whom you admire or you respect in modern history, if you have?
But thank you, but that would be too superfluous, I think. I would rather that I be judged when I'm no longer here. When I die, they can write all the good and bad things about me. But as of now, mind you, since you are here, it's not because that you are here that I'm from Japan. Japan, like China, has a very sensitive. You even talk in whispers. See the Japanese? The Japanese has a very courteous culture. Pati kung magsalita, yan sila pabulong. You can never hear them talk aloud. And very sincere. And I'd like to assure you that I would like to be friends with everybody. And the biggest donor to the Philippines is Japan. And thank you. And even this airport, the blueprint of this was by JICA, Japanese International Assistance. Kanila ito, itong JICA. Ang blueprint nito. They made it for us, free. And so many things. So many. Japan is one country I would never hurt. And you will never hear me talk about Japanese because they are so, your people are so generous and very courteous. And always they are sensitive, just like any other, to, people's feelings. Japan really is outstanding on that. When they talk to you, they talk in whispers. And you can never hear them interfering in the affairs of other nations. If you go back there, please bring with you the warm wishes of the Filipino people to your Minister Abe and the Japanese people. You just consider me as one who's trying his best. When I die, then I would just say that in my tomb epitaph, the man who tried his best. That's it. The greatest honor to me is that I tried to serve my nation the best way I could. But I am, I cannot stand oppression and crime, especially on the helpless people. And of course, especially the poor ones. I don't want any oppression. We do not have the money now, but in the fullness of God's time, Philippines will rise. And I said, I want my countrymen happy and comfortable. That is all. That's all my dream. Nothing else. I have no ambitions of becoming. As a matter of fact, if I'll give you my word. Because federalism is the only solution. Maniwala kayo sa akin, without federalism, gulo talaga. And I don't know how it would end. But I can very well tell you that how it will develop. And especially also with the communists. This is our last chance. Because we are now talking. I was able to convince everybody to talk. And except for this Maote extremists, to which I ordered a full-blown military campaign. Everything is going well, and we will start talking substantially and with concrete proposals next year. December, then there's no more time because of the festivities. But if I can just find the peace that my country needs, I would be very happy. And if the federalism, I'll call for a commission. If it can be crafted in 2 to 3 years, and it will provide a president elected by the people again, I will step down. I will not wait for my 6 years. If there is the federalism and we're able to craft a nation based on the federal setup, but with a strong president, of course I'm disqualified. But no, it does not really matter whether I can run again or not. I'll not be running. And as a matter of fact, I said, kung ano tayo ngayon, so we are 2016, if by 2018, it's there, it's done, I will step down. I give you my word, I will step down as president and you can call for an elections. No problem with me. Wala akong ambisyon na magpatagalan. I do not crave for power. I have been in power for 40 years. Here, 23 years as mayor, congressman, and vice mayor. I don't need to crave for it. I already had it. And it's not fun to be running. Tapos na ako dyan sa adulation and admiration and all, and the shouts and the applause. I'm past that stage. I don't need it really. Craft a constitution, federal type, in 2 years, and I will gladly resign or step down from my position. Okay? Anything else? May pahabol si Bigornia.
No, sige.
Silang lahat, pati yung isang military. There is somebody there also, an ex-military. I think he's a general, retired general. Pati itong dalawang abogado. And you know what? They are my fraternity brothers. If you must know. They are from San Beda, and they are my fraternity brothers. But I told Bong to tell them, resign. You're fired.
President, a quick follow-up lang. Do you have plans of imposing a massive overhaul in the Bureau after these two high-ranking officials involved in the corruption?
Dandahan lang kasi that's the problem with massive layouts and you might, alam mo nga iba dyan hindi ko pinapalitan. Kasi pag mawalaan ng trabaho, mawari ang pamilya niya kung anong makain. Especially the rank and file. Those do not have discretionary power. Walang discretion. Mechanical na ko. Anong sabihin ng doon sa etas, yun na yung tatrabahoin nila. And these are the people I'd like to protect. From the, how would you call it? From the, damay. Ito yung walang kasalanan. Mahirap kasi may mga anak yun. Iba na sa college, yung mahinto ang pag-aral ng mga tao, pati pagkain. Just like the police. The police, once the case is filed, they go hungry. Why? They're suspended. Immediately. Ano po tayo na basta ka na lang tulak ng tulak dyan kayong mga police. Ako na mismo ang sinasabi ko. I'm taking the bull by its horn. So alam ko yung Kaya ako nagtataka bakit nabalik yung Marcos. Kung pag-aralan, sabi ko, mayroon na yan. Kung ganun katagal, he must have extended this new... So let us first find out. Baski na wala yung Buera o mayroon, I would still have... Hayaan mo muna. Tanungin mo. The right to be heard. Ito sila, nagsabi mag-resign. Hindi mag-resign kayo. They offered to resign. Dinismiss ko na kaagad. Because they offered to resign. So, nag-preempt na ako. Sabi ko, out. Walang. Nakinig yung buong bayo. Huwag kayo sa panahon ko. Huwag sa panahon. Ibigay mo yung taxes kasi sigurado ninyo, pupunta talaga yan sa tao. I give you my solemn na yung pera ninyo pupunta talaga sa tao. Walang problema yan. At saka yung lahat ng mga pasugalan, gusto ko, may mga special economic zones dito na merong pasugalan na hindi natin alam. Walang bayad-bayad ng taxes yan. Well, this has to end. Even how powerful you are, there's always a time for you to follow the law. Do not make yourself special from the rest of the Filipinos.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes.
We're done.
Halika tayo, sige, magsalita ka. Oh, dito, para marinig kita.
Sir, point of clarification po, as far as the two yung DI commissioners are concerned, yung mga brad mo. Ganito na po, I understand there will be an investigation or a probe that is going to be conducted.
Automatic yan.
Oh, so what if the outcome of that probe will they be meted with the whatever is the result of the investigation, or would there be a chance for them to be reinstated?
Not in a million. Not in a million. Let the law take its course. Total, ginawa mo yan, hindi pasensya ka. You know, it's about Murphy's Law. If anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. Ganon yan. So, I'm sorry, but sabi ko, Brad ko pa yung mga yan. So, the law is the law, and sabi ko, for all of my, lahat, relatives ko, do not do it. If you want, get a legitimate negosyo. Yan lang naman ang ano dyan. Do it right, and everything is okay. Yes, ma'am, do you want to say something? You are a reporter also? Ikaw. Oh, ikaw, ma'am. Hala, nakalimutan mo magtanong.
Good morning, sir. I'm Athena Imperial from GMA7. Is Commissioner Chan included in the officers that were fired or dismissed in the Bureau of Immigration?
Immigration is headed by Morente. He's a military man. But I know he's good, and I do not believe that he was part of it. He used to be my chief of police noon dito, city police director. Kasi si Batot, police ko, lahat ng dumaan ng Sikoy, sa undersecretary of, puro may pwesto sila. But they are all good. I would not place them in the government if at least sila sumusunod. Pag sinabi kong wag yan.
Okay.
Sinabi ko ayaw ko yan. At yan naman, wala naman akong personal, I have no personal stake there. Wala akong hiningi para sa sarili ko. Just do it right, I said, and serve the people. Period. That's all. Yun lang yan ang hiningi ko. Serve your country and do it right.
So it's only your fraternity brothers, Argusino, Robles, and the General, Kalima?
Yes, and let us see what develops.
Okay.
It is an evolving thing, and many things would crop up.
Okay.
So, hindi natin malaman ang totoo. Let the investigation proceed.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sige. Wala na? My friend, still want a follow-up? Let me clear your doubts, if you have one. If you think that I'm lying, tell me straight. time to clear, time to level up with each other.
I'm frightened now. Last time you were kind enough to take my question, I asked you if you were rooting for Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. Can you tell me now who you were rooting for?
Actually, in the liking of my character, it was really Trump all along. And you can ask them. Because I like his mouth.
I can understand why you might.
Yeah, he said so. We talk in the same language, and I like your mouth. It's like mine. I said, yes, Mr. President. We were similar. And, you know, people with the same feathers flock together.
So when you said earlier the United States businesses and whatnot could pack their bags and leave as a result of the criticism over the alleged human rights violations, do you expect that your opinion may change or improve under the new U.S. president-elect? Do you think the relationship could improve?
No, because if the world thinks that I did this, it'll do you good to just investigate. An investigation and an impartial one would do better than just one person maybe backing you up. It ain't enough, actually.
What would it take to improve your relationship with the United States?
Well, I said I have plans of terminating the visiting forces agreement, and I would like to, not you, of course, referring to the military. I do not want to see foreign military troops, for that matter. Not only American, Canadian, or whatever, Australian. I do not want them in my country. I have so many uniformed men already. Why do I have to add it by going into an exercise of, nothing can beat the Filipino soldiers. I have observed that. This is no offense. These guys, after a fight, your soldiers, they go to the camp, order ham and egg, and they want to sleep in air-conditioned rooms. Even if it's a tent, it's air-conditioned. Filipino soldiers, they were just stay in the food jungle and just throw them. Maybe if there is not enough food for them, for everybody, corned beef, spam, sardines, I will just gobble it and fight another day.
Corned beef, spam, and sardines all at once? Do they eat that?
Yeah, also. Yeah.
How?
Well, they don't cook it, actually. They just let it drop. That, really, you should have your stint with the Filipino soldier. We're into the ways of really sacrifice. And that is why during my term, I ordered, give them all they want. I said, I want them new boots, no complaint, new uniforms. I said, we were about to buy the M16s, but unfortunately, it's supposed to be Sig Sauer, that's the distributor. It's in America. It's originally a German corporation. Then America.
But what you're essentially saying, it would rebalance the entire military power structure in this part of the world, because the United States' legitimacy for patrolling the waters off the Philippines is the alliance with the Philippines. So if you're calling for that to change, then it really changes the whole game out here.
You have this from Japan. Then the islands there at the back of the San Diego. These are all military, or at least pro-military, U.S. Then you have the Philippines down the coastline. Then somewhere there you have some bases there. Then you go to island towards Malaysia. They have a station there. Then down towards Indonesia, they have stations there. So you see, actually, they are almost encircling China. I don't know if the missiles are there. But in my country, I would never allow it. Because it's not good. And so, almost at the back, you have this island there, that's a military base. Then down here, this Taiwan, you have an air base. Just a few minutes. Japan, North Korea is there. Actually, it's... so, Philippines is a part of the pivot. They say, I don't know, we don't have the missiles, I said. But I want... They ask for it, I'll give it to them. Out. America is asking for it, provoking me into so many things. Be careful of what you may wish. It might be given to you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
So, kayo diyang, sa likod, wala kayo? Wala kayong masabi sa akin? Pagtalikod ko, backbite kayo, ha? Bantay kayo sa... Let's call it a day and thank you.